Today brings us together for a couple of firsts, both for the city and for the fire department. We're here today to recognize the community of Poplar Grove who came together the afternoon of September 18th, 2014 to help the fire department effect a rescue, or actually to perform some of a rescue before we even got here. The first associated with this, which is kind of interesting, is when we came up with the idea. Actually, Captain Halverson, who is in the audience somewhere, came up with the idea for this to award, if you will, the community a plaque of recognition. We partnered with the Arts Council, City Engineering, and Parks and Rec, and that's never been done before in our history. Also, the artist that designed this bridge, or the redo of the bridge, was very excited that he got to participate in something like this, and rather than just placing it somewhere, he actually placed a spot in the bridge for us to mount this plaque. And so without the help of engineering, Parks and Rec through CED, we would not have had a chance to do this. So to our partners there, we thank you very much. On September 18th, 2014, around 5 in the afternoon, 3 young men were traveling in a vehicle eastbound on Indiana Avenue. They lost control of the vehicle, hit the corner of the bridge on the west side behind me, and then went into the river upside down. The 3 occupants of the vehicle were starting to go underwater. 3 individuals got into the water, got 2 of the gentlemen out of the vehicle. The 3rd person was still trapped. They could not get him out. From some encouragement from the bank, there were multiple people, up to 15 or 20 individuals, who got into the water, risking their own safety, and actually turned the vehicle over. I got here before the patient was taken out of the vehicle, but not during the rescue efforts. I was told by 3 of our captains that had those individuals not done that, that gentleman would have died. And so in that situation, the community of Poplar Grove, the individuals who got into the water, kind of ignoring their own safety and taking great risk, changed the outcome. The fire department's mission statement says, prepare effectively, respond appropriately, and impact positively. You cannot imagine how much of impact that made to that young man and his family. So for that, we give this plaque, which we'll show you in a few moments here, to the entire community of Poplar Grove that came to the assistance of the fire department that day and truly did change the outcome in a very positive way. So thank you for that. I'd like to turn the time over to Mayor Jackie Biskupski.
Well, thank you, Chief, for allowing me an opportunity to be here today. I did not know about this story until this week. But I do have some things I wanted to say. I don't think anyone here can even think about what happened that day without kind of getting chills and feeling a little bit heartfelt about what occurred. Without regard for their own lives, 3 residents of Poplar Grove jumped into the Jordan River to save the lives of people they had never met after an SUV flipped over this bridge and tumbled into the water behind us. Leo Montoya, who could not be here, Adrian Lyon, who also could not be here, and Johnny Draw, who's here today, are heroes in this community, appropriately recognized as such by the Salt Lake City Fire Department for their courageous and selfless act. Just as incredible as what they did is what they didn't do. Unable to free one of the individuals in the vehicle with water rushing around them, they refused to leave. They stayed with the person who was trapped in the car while soliciting more help and obtaining that by others who were traveling in the area. Yesterday, we honored Leo, Johnny, and Adrian with the Salt Lake City Fire Department's highest honor awarded to civilians, the Citizen Heroism Medal. Today we lay this marker on this bridge to also honor the 20 anonymous individuals who heeded a call for help from Leo, Johnny, Adrian, and the fire department to flip the SUV and free the last passenger. On that day, on this spot, after a terrible accident, no lives were lost. because people from this community came together in a time of crisis, and I say thank you. All of us in Salt Lake City feel secure about our lives and with the knowledge that we can receive help from our first responders within minutes. It is also more comforting to know we live in a city where we can count on our neighbors to help as well. So congratulations to you. Thank you so much for doing what you did. And to all those who we don't know, we're super grateful. So thank you.
One of the things that was interesting about this case is our crews, once we got on scene, we had to use mechanical jaws to, if you will, shred the car to get this gentleman out. And they were doing that underwater. And we trained for a lot of things like that, but trying to do something like that with these things that put 10 to 40,000 pounds of pressure and not, nick somebody's bone or crush somebody's foot is very important to that individual. And so our crews, our Water Rescue 7, Hazmat Company 6, and I believe it was Medic Engine 2 as well, should get a lot of praise as well for their efforts. And we did honor them during our normal award ceremony we do every year. I actually do it twice a year now. But for a couple more remarks, I'd like to turn time over to Councilman Andrew Johnston.
I want to make sure I honor all the firefighters and EMTs and everyone who was involved in that, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. I also want to acknowledge a miracle, and I don't throw that around very lightly, and I mean that deeply because I live about a block away from here. My wife and daughter are here. We go over this bridge a lot. And that day, actually, we were at home. And I say a miracle in the sense that it was something that is exceptional, it's unexplained, perhaps, and it's beautiful. And the fact that we had individuals who were here, Johnny's here right now with us, many others who were here on site, who jumped in and just did something they hadn't planned for, hadn't prepped for, had never thought of doing perhaps, and pulled it off remarkably well, is a miracle. In the AA tradition, the 12 steps, we talk about when we don't have the ability to help ourselves, when we are powerless, we have to look to a higher power. And for a lot of people, it's a hard idea to think about God or a higher power in general, for a variety of reasons. But we talk about a higher power as in something that's greater than ourselves that can do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And in this moment, a higher power is all of us. All the folks who came, who saved these individuals, and who have now disappeared into the community again. They are a higher power. When we think about our lives, and we think about how our community can grow, we need that. We need to trust in things greater than ourselves to pull this off. So Johnny, and all the others who are here and who aren't here today with us, thank you for being our higher power. Thank you for reminding me of the faith in each of us, that we can pull off great things together if we have trust in each other. When the times are difficult enough, it brings out the best in us, and this is a great example of that. And every time that my wife and myself and our daughter, and I know Johnny's family's here, other kids come by for years and years and decades to come. It's a big memorial, and I hope that we'll remember what it means and what happened that day to keep our resolve up as we move forward. So thank you.
So, as we unveil the actual plaque itself, it's on the west side of the bridge. So if we can step over there, be careful. There's not a lot of room over there. And we'll have the councilman and the mayor unveil the plaque for the community. So let's make our way over to the bridge.
Everybody set?
3, 2, 1, unveil.